It's not gonna get easier. Hello, on October 20th, I was just telling myself, I always have this dream that maybe one day I can squat 200 kilos, but it is not to be. I don't think so. I mean, from this point on, my squat is the only way for my squat to go is go down, and I'll just, I'll pray that it can stay the same. I mean, to be honest, I can barely squat 150. I don't think I can squat 150 actually right now. Maybe 140. If I can do 140 in 2 weeks, I'll be a very happy man. Yeah, is it just not something? I guess it's not possible, or the way I'm training, something need to change, or something need to work better. Number 4. All right, maximum frequency of an element after performing operations. You are given integer array nums, 2 integers k and num operations. You must perform an operation this number of times on nums, where in each operation you select an index I that was not selected in any previous operations, add an integer in the range to it, return the maximum possible frequency of any element after performing the operation. So we'll do 2 times, and we'll add this or minus this to one of them, right? Select that has not been selected before. So basically we have a range of all the numbers, right? So basically this is 0 to 2, 3 to 5, and 4 to 6. But we can only do 2 of them. So 1, 4, 5. We can only do 2. And we want to see what would be the maximum frequency. Maximum frequency. Overlap. Let's try some DP idea. But K is pretty big, and the length is also pretty long, so I'm not sure how that DP is going to work. And we're just going to say, from this to the end, with that number of operations, what will be the maximum? But the thing is, I think it might change, right? It might change. So think of it differently. Frequency, right? We want frequency. So let's say initially everybody has frequency 1, right? Then we want to do this operation. If you add to the largest or you minus the smallest, it's not going to work. So the best you can do is find the middle ground and try to see if you can converge to this middle ground, right? So, but if we think about that way, so 1, 4, 5, we can say the middle ground, that's not technically 4, but I think it should be the middle of the smallest and largest value. So 1, 4, 5, let me rewrite this. So 1, 4, 5, I say the middle ground, the middle is 3, right? So then we're trying to see, can we just converge to 3? Now 1 cannot converge to 3. 4 can converge to 3. But 5 also cannot converge to 3. So if I do 3, we will only have... So if I go 3, right, then what we see is 1 need to add 2. So this side need to add 2. This side is a -1 and -2, right? So 1 is good, but the other is not good. Which means I can go... because this is a -1, right? So which means this is a little bit to the left, too much to the left. So I will move to the right. I'm kind of thinking binary search, right? Now I want to move to the right, and then we say 3 and 5. So we do 4. 4, then we don't need to consider on the left hand side, right? Because the left hand side is not going to reach. If 3 is not going to reach, and this is not going to reach. So 4, we have this one's good and this one's good, so we get 2, right? Is this the maximum we can get? How do we know? Like what should we get next? So we have 0 here, 1 here, right? So what we're trying to see is, we want to balance it, right? We need to find a number that we can balance it, and here it's pretty balanced, right? We can this is 0, this is 1, the difference is 1, so we shall go to like the amount of difference, so we shall go right, and then we say low equal to low equal to 4 minus 1, and then this will get out, so the answer is 2. Okay, let's try the other one. 5, 11, 20, 20, right? So the first one, 25, is 12. So when we try 12, this is -7. No, -7, +7. +7 plus 1. -8. So we shall move to the right hand side, and then this one, because it's a 1, so I can do 1, because this is the final number we want to converge, right? So there's only 1. Okay, so now it's too much here, but this has an issue. Like if we are dead on the center, or not really dead on the center, but like the amount on the left and the amount on the right is about the same. Then what? Then which side do you go? I don't know. If they're the same, right? If they're the same, then which side do you go? I mean, this one we can go, we say 32, so we'll do 16, but 16 still no good, so I'll do it again. Be 18, right? 18, still no good, so I do 19. 19 is actually good. Wait, hold on, this is 5, my bad. 5, 16 will work, 5, 18 will work, 19 will work, right? And then 20. But I fear that this is not what actually is. So like if it's the same, I'm kind of thinking of it like if 1, let's say the middle is 5, so we have the plus 4. So I just need to have like 6, 6, 6. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. But you need to get the middle to be 5, which means this has to have a 9. So the middle is the min and max, so you find the middle, right? So when you find the middle, min and max, they are the same, right? They are the same, or at least if it's 3, if it's 7, or if it's 8, it'll be 4. Yeah, so they will be very similar. And then the rest of the numbers, if I evenly distribute, so that it's, well, I might not evenly distribute. So we say, yeah, we still do 5. So let's say this is a 9. Okay, let's say this is a 9. Okay, so we have plus 4 plus 4. But how will the remain? Like I can have a 2, so I have a plus 3, right? Then I have, 666, right? 66. Because this is also plus 3. So the left and right are the same. Then what? Which side should you go? So if it's the same, if it's, okay, so there's also consideration of the number. Like how many is on the left, how many is on the right. So we should go to a side that have more numbers, right? So you see you have a higher chance of getting people converging on you. So that in this case, 5 definitely should go there. But also we also have this number of operations need to be considered. Number of operations. Because you might need to do a bit more operations if you need to get them to agree on a number. I don't know. I mean, it is to find a number, okay, and see how many number of operations we need, right? We get a number, we're gonna go through and see how many number of operations do we need. To converge to that number. And then what? Notice num's I is to 10 to the 5th. I wonder now, can I Just go through all the numbers from 1 to 10 to the 5th. Well, not really from 1 to 10 to the 5th, from 1 to the maximum value. How would you do that? From 1 to the max value. So for each one, I just need to find out. So given a number, a final conversion number, I want to figure out with the number of operations, how many can be converged into that? How many can be converged into that? That seems to be a different problem. So yeah, you have some numbers, right? But noted that the maximum you can use is log n in order to find out how many. So we do some binary search. Well, we can do a counter. Okay, so we do a counter, then I have a number. Okay, and then I think I might have some. So think about this. We do a counter. Okay, so we do a counter on nums, and it's sorted. All right, so let's just say we have sorted. A0, A1, A2, sorted. Each one has a count. Okay, and then we start from, we start from the smallest. Right, we start from the smallest, the minimum value. Okay, we'll go all the way to the maximum, and for each we can produce a range. Right, we can produce a range. That range means what would the maximum number that can reach this after doing this k thing. So basically it's min minus k, and well, actually we don't call it min, we call it I don't know, let's call it p. Okay, so it will be p minus k to p minus k, but we have to pick the maximum of the two and the minimum of p plus k to max. So this is your range. Any number falling in that can be used to converge into your p, right? Then we just do 2 rounds of binary search. We do a binary search on this one, we do a binary search on this one. Then I don't even need to do a counter. I just sort this, I do 2 rounds of binary search. This one, I'll find the upper bound. Oh, is that upper bound or lower bound? I think a lower bound, okay, I forgot what upper bound and lower bound do. I have to check this every single time. Upper bound and lower bound versus lower bound. I just need some explanation, I forgot. First element that is not less. So upper bound, right? Upper bound is a larger equal to, and the lower bound, no, upper bound is the first element that is greater than. Okay, my bad. Upper bound is greater. Lower bound is the first element that is not less. It's larger equal to, so it's the first element that is larger than the target. And this is also the first element that's larger equal to the target. So that's the lower bound, which we will capture it, right? So we do a lower bound on this one, and we do an upper bound on this one, but -1 on this one. So this gives me what range of numbers that can converge to k, and then we just pick Then we need to pick. I do need a counter. I do need a counter, because if I have a k, right, and then, so okay, hold on. Here's what I need. I do need a counter, just in case the number I have is exactly the same, right? Because if it's exactly the same, those do not count towards those do not count towards the operations. But if I do this, then I need a prefix sum, which is I don't know, I don't really like it. So I'll have this to give me the total number. It will be we have the total count of numbers that can reach, right, can converge to p, and then we'll minus exactly p, because those we don't need to do operations. And then we'll take, so those are the operations. Yeah, those are the operations. Then we need to take the so if this number of operations is larger than the allowed one, right, then we can only do the allowed number. If it's smaller, then we'll take it doesn't matter, we just take the min. Yeah, we take the min of the two, right? So we'll get the number of operations, and then we plus, right? So basically we have this range will tell me the total number, right? And then the total number minus this already minus the same, right? Minus the same is the ones that we need to do operation, and then we take the min of those two. We get how many operations I have, and that one will plus the min will get the answer. Okay, so yeah, it's a couple of steps need to be. So it's 21. All right, so a few things. 3, 3, 4, 6. Yeah, we'll go through all possible convergent number p and check how many numbers can converge there. We will report the largest such count. All right, first thing is sort nums.begin, nums.end. This is very important. And then I need an unordered map. So this is a counter, right, for int n of nums counter n plus plus, right? Well, technically I can do further binary search, but I guess we don't have to. All right, so int res equal to 0 for int p. We'll start with nums 0. Okay, p is just smaller than nums dot back. Or maybe I can do. Oh, nah, that's fine. P plus plus. All right, so for each one, we're going to do how do we it upper bound. Okay, so we say int lower bound shall equal to std maximum nums 0, which is the smallest, and a p minus k, right? Int upper bound is minimum nums dot back p plus k. Okay, so now I have lower and upper, and then we say auto it low is std lower bound num stop begin, num stop and lower bound. Okay, and then auto it high std upper bound, num stop begin, num stop and upper bound. But this one need to -1. We say it high into minus because it pointing to the one that's outside, right? Outside. But what we want is the range, because in between is the one that's possible, right? So I need distance. Okay, distance between iterator. I forgot. Does it count or does it not count? First and last, an iterator point at the initial position exclusive. Right. I need an example. Start +1 and +4, so +1, 2, 3, 4. So the distance should be 3. Yeah, output is 3. Which means the last one doesn't count. So I don't even need this, right? So I just say int dist is distance, this, low, and high. So this is the max count of numbers that can converge to p, right? Next, we need to find.
Have you fed the cats yet?
Not yet.
Don't keep me out.
All right, I'll feed them. All right, let's get back to it. Where are we? Max number that can converge to p. All right, so now we're gonna do int eligible. It's not eligible. It's must convert. Shall I go to dist minus p itself, so which is counter p, right? This is a count of numbers that must undergo operation to reach p, right? And then there's a must convert, and it's like eligible. Shall you go to std the minimum must convert and num operations. Okay, num operations. And then rest shall equal to maximum, so it will be counter p plus eligible. What the hell are you doing? Counter p plus eligible. And rest. Okay. So we go through every single one. Actually, that's not true. It should be smaller equal to. We'll go through every single one and then we'll return rest. Must convert. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I don't really care on the runtime or stuff. We'll see if it works. All right, looks okay. Let's try it. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. I think that is a solution. The passing rate is very low on this problem, so I don't know why, but this is sort, enumerate, binary search. I think that's exactly what we did. Sort. I'm not sure what this is. They do have a counter. Like num count, yeah. Left bound, right bound. We go through, yes. Yeah, I think it's exactly how we thought it should be. Yeah, maybe sliding window. Maybe you can do that. But anyway, that will be it for today. But keep that in mind. So tomorrow, maybe 2. Maybe you need to use sliding window. Who knows? Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow.